3 nights down, 3 o'clock in the morning, 3rd of February today. Now, I've got one more night shift to go, that means I've got one more run to go. And look, I know yesterday I was talking about soul food and how good it felt to be out there running yesterday, how I felt really good, really at peace, really, in the zone. Today was not that case at all. I was struggling. I think sometimes for me running is about trying to get your legs to outmatch the pace that's in your head. In other words, it just means trying to get your legs to move faster than what your head wants them to move. And the third night for me is usually a bit of a crash. Second night I peak, I feel great on the second night. I usually have a good sleep. Third night I've gone a little bit later on my break, so my body was probably primed to go at 2:30 because that's when I've been going the last couple of nights. Hour later, a little bit more tired, a little bit more weary, quite stiff today, so I took some time here stretching it out. Apologies for the poor video. I've got a new phone, got a good camera, but I hit some sort of weird setting thing when I tried to film it then, so it will be better towards the later stages of the video. But yeah, it was just hard. It was just a struggle. Everything about this run this time was a struggle. Last 2 nights I've been running in old worn down sneakers, and generally it felt good. Like you feel yourself sort of beating down on the pavement a little bit, and you feel it in your ankles and your knees when you've used trainers that are too worn out. But I switched them over today, got some really, almost went the complete opposite, and I brought out a really cushioned one just to give my joints a bit of a break. But I just don't think my legs appreciated going from having almost like no heel support and no padding to probably the most padding you can get in a shoe kind of thing. So maybe I need to go nice medium tomorrow and just do my normal runners, because I felt immediately after I started running, I felt like quick lactic acid build up in the calves. The calves felt tight, the knees felt tight. I feel like I couldn't get a proper range of motion. I felt like I couldn't strike the ground under my hip, in alignment with my hip, running at all this evening. So it was a bit of a struggle. Funnily enough though, a couple k's in, cruising along at my own pace, and then boom, starts raining. And immediately feel the cold water on my back, feel the wind pick up, and I was like, oh yeah. So I got a bit of a rhythm on from then on. So for the last 3 k's, I sort of got a move on thanks to Mother Nature there. Something about seeing a bit of lightning and hearing a bit of thunder, and then that cold drizzle of rain down the back of your neck kind of thing. Just it sends a little bit of a rocket up you, sends a bit of a chill down your spine, and you'd start motoring after that. Which I'd probably benefited a lot from, but the moral of probably today's story is just, if you have a task that you don't want to do, or something you got to do at work or a workout you don't want to do, acknowledge it you don't want to do it. Acknowledge it. You'd be anywhere else. You'd rather be on an island somewhere on holiday or on the couch watching Netflix or whatever. Just acknowledge that you don't want to do it. I did not want to go for a run today. I felt terrible. I wanted to have a sleep pretty much. I was struggling just before my break, man. I was struggling to keep my eyes open. There wasn't much going on. I sort of had everything nice and settled, and had my night well planned out. So there were no surprises. So there's nothing really extra to do once I put my plan in place and completed all my tasks for the evening quite early. So I was quite tired, and I didn't want to do it. I acknowledged it, and I think it's important to acknowledge it. You've got to acknowledge your feelings, and you've got to acknowledge why you don't want to do something. The feelings, physiologically, emotionally, mentally behind it. But then almost 2 seconds later, you've just got to put it to the other side and say, suck it up, buttercup. We're going to do it anyway. I don't care if you don't want to do it, it has to be done. And, even if it doesn't have to be done, even if that task doesn't have to be done, like it's not time sensitive, there's no pressure on it, whatever, put pressure on it. put pressure on yourself to do it and just get over it. You feel so much better after doing it. At the end of this run, I felt fantastic. The first 2-3 Ks felt absolutely crap. Felt really bad. But I think it's that sort of a reward system I'm building into myself, where if I can get myself up to do these things and get them over, then the feeling of accomplishment and completion at the end is far greater than what I would have experienced not doing these tasks. So I'll leave it with that message today. Acknowledge your feelings, acknowledge why you don't want to do something, put it aside and say, stuff it, I'm going to do it anyway. Cheers, and I'll see you in the next one.